have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern. Yeah. And I have never talked about this publicly. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it. Yeah. And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say. Yeah. Years later, they finally came out, and this a male, Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. You know, we all have stories. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific, and only 5 people know it. And I probably will never tell it. But since then, I've been like, yep. And I also am very intimately aware that you tell your truth and you become victimized over and over and over and over and over and over. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. I have a lot of stories, y'all. I've been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer, 30. I got a lot of stories. Unfortunately, maybe I'll write a book one day. But it just is so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe. And when we revisit, we live in a state of victimhood. And nobody wants to live there. So for those of you like, why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy. And we really want to forget the trauma. So there's that.
I welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. Now, on Tuesday, we saw 2 popular media personalities. These are, by the way, quite big names within Hollywood and, of course, the entertainment industry as a whole, coming out, you know, to give their thoughts and, of course, reaffirm the so many allegations, you know, that have been surrounding the huge and popular music mogul that is Sean Diddy Combs, who actually is into the frying pan with a couple of issues with regards to the authorities and the law. So the 2 popular media personalities, there is one lady named Touré, who actually was a backup dancer of Diddy, I think in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, she came out via her Instagram and, you know, gave out a couple of words with regards to this whole Diddy situation. We all know, you know, so many people who have worked with Diddy have always come out to give their side of the story. Like, they have lots of accusations. I don't know what exactly, you know, happened with this Diddy guy, because, man, so many people are coming out with different allegations from all different angles of life, and, you know, and it's really very heartbreaking. And when you happen to listen to their stories, so now this lady, she wrote of her experiences with Diddy, and she said she just knew to avoid him, you know, at all costs, because, well, she danced for him, and of course she kept in her space. She interviewed him for so many of his projects, and they kept their relationship completely at that. But man, what was happening at the time behind the scenes, you know, it was really heartbreaking. She actually never revealed the details of what exactly happened, but when you happen to dig deep into her story, she says she will even write a book, you know, to clearly tell her own story, because so many people will be totally disappointed with, you know, how Diddy treated her. Obviously, we can't preempt the whole situation. We don't know what exactly happened, but from, you know, a neutral perspective, you can tell maybe Diddy happened to do some unthinkable stuff onto this lady. She actually went ahead and said at one point she had a cousin brother who, you know, who wanted who wanted an internship role at one of Diddy's companies, and when the cousin, you know, approached Diddy obviously gave out the spot, like the boy went in for the internship, but 3 months into the internship, you know, the boy decided to just quit completely out of the blue. And then when this lady asked the boy, what happened? Why are you quitting your internship? The guy was like, Diddy invited me at his home. He wanted to offer me this, offer me that, so that I can stay in his home overnight. Stuff like that are completely disappointing when you look at the kind of person and picture and posture and level of respect we've been putting onto Diddy. It's really disappointing. So we don't know what exactly now the story of this boy, like we don't know whether he was being also lured into the unthinkables, because ideally if you're not belonging to the other group, why are you inviting a fellow man at your place, a private house, like to spend an overnight? It means there must be something. So many allegations are still coming out. We don't know what exactly Diddy was doing onto these people, so we just can't think about, what was happening on their private parties. Obviously, this all started with a Cassie incident, and it's really very, very bad for Sean Diddy Combs.